Well, hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to Regina and Friends Crime Chat. We have some updates for you guys in Troy Alexandria Strope's case, but we're going to start from the beginning and recap for everyone who isn't familiar with the case. Um, and then we'll go from there and talk about it. And then I have some updates in the Devil's Den killing of the Brinks, husband and wife. Um, at Devil's Den State Park. So let's start with this. Um, okay.
Forest City Police Chief Ronald Broussard says 42-year-old Troy Alexandria Strope, whose remains were found February 20th along St. Francis County Road 731, was frequently seen riding her bike throughout Forest City.
She put some miles on that bicycle. She'd ride that bicycle all the way from
Come on.
the south side to the north side. I'd see her all the way at Walmart on that bicycle. She ride that bicycle everywhere.
Broussard says some of his officers assisted St. Francis County investigators when Strope's nude, decomposed remains were discovered in a plastic storage tote by two youngsters riding four-wheelers on County Road 731.
I just hate to see her life end in such a manner. And it angers us all here that somebody would be so vicious.
After the youngsters posted about their discovery on Facebook, investigators got a tip on a possible ID from a male saying his mother had been missing for a month. A DNA sample was taken and sent to the state crime lab to determine the woman's ID. The Facebook video, which WREG does not have permission to use, shows a deputy standing over a large plastic storage container called a tote, similar to this one. The tote was located in the spot where a makeshift memorial to Strope now sits. Chief Broussard says the mother of three was on her way to getting her life back together when it was tragically taken.
We talk about what a person's hang-ups or issues were at death. But I can tell you what her life was like. She was always smiling, always upbeat.
In St. Francis County, Mike Suriani, WREG News Channel 3.
So many questions remain. Meanwhile, a memorial service for Troy Strope will be held Saturday at 4 p.m. at Colt Baptist Church in Colt, Arkansas. In the meantime, if you have information on the case, you're asked to call St. Francis County Sheriff or the Forest City Police Department.
In shock. We're all in disbelief.
Forest City Police.
So that was whenever they identified Troy. Her family's had a really hard time dealing with all of this. I talked to her family. They are some of the most amazing, loving people you will ever meet. I'm not even on. Yeah, I'm on stage. Right? There I am. Okay. Um, what they've gone through in the fight for Troy, no family should have to deal with. And I have watched them fight tooth and nail for the truth and everything in Troy's case. They know so much that would hurt any one of us to know about how this beautiful woman ended up on in a storage tote on the side of a dirt road for teenage kids to find on four-wheelers that can't even be said because it could interfere with justice for Troy. But they fight every day. One of her family members asked me, or told me the other day, that they wonder if they've done enough. That's what families go through. They go through questioning themselves because of someone else's hate. And that's what her family has gone through. And the problem is this should be a capital murder case. I know this because of things I can't say. This should be a capital murder case. And it's not. Why? Honest truth. Because the person that committed this murder, the most of the violence, his mother is a quorum judge in St. Francis County. This woman, this beautiful woman right here that was finding herself, was brutalized and put in a storage tote, found naked and decomposing on the side of a gravel road. I've read her Facebook post, her writings. She was beautiful. Inside and out, she was beautiful. We all have our demons and we all struggle, but she's a loss to this world. The pain I see in this beautiful family's eyes, the way they've been treated by the justice system, it really lets me know that there's room for growth and room for change in the justice system. But we all have to be willing to acknowledge the wrongs in order for that to happen. So I just want to say hi to everyone coming in. We got Delta Berkey, Connie, and Wilby is up here on panel with us. How are you guys
I'm
doing
doing.
tonight?
Hey, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I just want to make sure I was looking at the screen on StreamYard and it had her picture, and I wasn't sure I was up or not.
Yeah, you're
But,
up here. Um, wasn't she beautiful, Wilby?
oh,
And
absolutely.
her eyes were the most aqua blue you've ever seen. Like they're just beautiful.
It seems odd to look at that kind of picture and try to figure out how she ended up where she ended up, and it's just
Well,
all.
I can tell you how she ended up where she ended up.
Yeah.
First of all, let me play this real quick. Um, let me play this one real quick because it leads us up to it, okay?
All righty, I'm gonna mute while you play.
I'm going to be reading it, Wilby. So this is Michael Lacey. This is the first man that was arrested after Troy was found in the Walmart plastic storage tote. It says the St. Francis County Sheriff's Office said Thursday that 45-year-old Michael Lacey is charged with first-degree murder, should have been capital, in my opinion, abuse of a corpse, sicko, and possession of a firearm by a certain person. Oh, could that be a convicted felon? St. Francis County Sheriff's Office. This was published by K8 News Desk, and it was published February the 28th of 2024. It was updated June the 20th of 2024. It says, Forest City, Arkansas. A Forest City man is being held on a $1 million bond in connection with the death of a woman whose body was discovered in a plastic storage tote on the side of the road. The St. Francis County Sheriff's Office said Thursday that 45-year-old Michael Lacey is charged with first-degree murder, abuse of a corpse, and possession of a firearm by a certain person. He's suspected in the death of 42-year-old Troy Alexandria Strope of Forest City, Arkansas. On February the 20th, a group of boys riding four-wheelers found a tote containing Strope's body on the side of County Road 731 near Highway 334, according to a news release. Lacey is expected to be arraigned on Monday, June 24th, in the St. Francis County Circuit Court. The sheriff's office said the case is still ongoing and other arrests are expected. And there were other arrests, but let's play this real quick first.
We've got a lot of good people here in Mississippi County.
Well, we've got a commercial for 30 seconds, so. Are you with us so far, Wilby? What are you thinking?
I'm just kind of taking it all in, to be honest with you. It's just seems like a repeat Groundhog Day every time we do a case in Arkansas. I don't know. Just it's odd, to be
Yeah.
honest. Sad too. Too many people
It's,
going missing and hurt, unalived. It's just not right. And it probably all goes back to the same thing: corruption. Who knows what?
Of a body inside a. Well, this story
all right. So here we go.
is quite the mystery. In one Mid-South community tonight, the discovery of a body inside a plastic tote bin on the side of the road. Action News 5's Tavarius Haywood spent the evening near Forest City, Arkansas, searching for answers.
Law enforcement in St. Francis County, Arkansas, are trying to figure out what happened to a woman after her body was found in this wooded area just behind me. A group of teens who were in the area of County Road 731 in St. Francis County found the adult woman in a tote box on Tuesday. There was not a lot of information at this time, but people in the area tell me that they heard the woman's body had been in the area for quite some time. The body will be sent to the Arkansas State Crime Lab to determine the woman's identity and the cause of death. If you know anything, you are urged to call the St. Francis Sheriff's Department. In Arkansas, Tavarius Haywood, Action News 5.
Okay. So there was the first arrest and what happened, where they found her, everything like that. And there were more arrests in her case. As a matter of fact, that brings me to this.
A second person is now facing charges in the death of a St. Francis County woman whose body was found inside a plastic tote on a rural road. The St. Francis County Sheriff's Office says 41-year-old Corey Anderson has been charged with abuse of a corpse. His arrest comes just 4 days after 45-year-old Michael Lacey of Forest City was arrested. Lacey was arraigned today on charges of first-degree murder and abuse of a corpse. Troy Strope's body was found inside a large plastic tote on County Road 731 back in February. Anderson is being held on a $50,000 bond. Lacey is being held on a $1 million bond.
Wow.
That was the second arrest. That was Corey Anderson's arrest for her death, right?
Yeah.
Well, there was a third arrest in her death. And that was Willie Smith. Third arrest made in connection to murder of woman found in tote box. That woman was Troy Alexandria Strope. St. Francis County Sheriff's Department arrested a third person in connection to a grisly discovery was made earlier this year. The body of 42-year-old, me and her were the same age, man, whenever they found, like, we were both 42. I was 42 whenever she died. That's like part of what drew me to her case, because I was like, how could this vibrant, beautiful woman end up dead like that in the side of a plastic storage tote? You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't fathom it. The body of 42-year-old Troy Alexandria Strope was found on the side of County Road 731 near Highway 334 in St. Francis County, Arkansas, in February. The sheriff's office says a group of teens found the body inside of a tote box. Willie Smith, 50, is charged in connection to the homicide. He is currently charged with tampering with evidence and possession of a firearm. And here's that news update.
Mississippi County, Arkansas.
And we got to wait for the commercial again because these are news sources. I'm sorry. So what are you thinking so far, Wilby?
It's hard to connect her with the people that they arrested her with, in my mind. How she ever crossed paths with them, whatever, to be honest. But again, I don't know as much about this case as I have some of the others. And
Well, we're gonna get to that and kind of go over it a little bit. I'm gonna play snippets of an I did an interview, and Long Crime Network did an interview with Aunt Eve, which was Troy's aunt.
Night, the discovery of a body. Well, this story is quite the mystery. In one Mid-South community tonight, the discovery of a body inside a plastic tote bin on the side of the road. Action News 5's Tavarius Haywood spent the evening near Forest City, Arkansas, searching for answers.
Law enforcement in St. Francis County,
Is it just looping me on the same feed again?
Arkansas, are trying to figure out what happened to a woman after her body was found in this wooded area just behind me. A group of teens who were in the area of County Road 731 in St. Francis County found the adult woman in a tote box on Tuesday. There is not a lot of information at this time, but people in the area tell me that they heard the woman's body had been in the area for quite some time. The body will be sent to the Arkansas State Crime Lab to determine the woman's identity and the cause of death. If you know anything, you are
Okay, so that is the exact same video again. So I'm just going to read the article. I guess it's just replaying it. It says the sheriff's office says a group of teens found the body inside a tote box. Willie Smith, 50, is charged in connection to the homicide. Oh, I already read all that. Okay. And then it says Smith is the third person charged in connection to Strope's death. Michael Lacey, 45, was arrested and charged with first-degree murder, abuse of a corpse, and possession of a firearm by a certain person. And then Corey Jerome Anderson, 41, of Madison, Arkansas, was later arrested and charged with abuse of a corpse, a Class C felony. Strope lived in Forest City. Police Chief Ronald Broussard says she was a friendly face he'd seen often. Whenever she'd see me, she'd say, I'm 50. She said, I'm 1052, Chief Broussard said. 1052 means I'm clear. 1053 means I have a warrant. She was just a sweet lady. No one deserves to die such a heinous, unforeseen death. And we're going to find out about how she died more coming up. But I do have a post I'd like to share with y'all. Update about Corey Anderson and Willie Smith. So first of all, this is what I'd like to share. Okay. This is from Troy's family. Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry this update is coming late, but emotions are running high, and sometimes I have to apply some filters to what I say. While Willie Calvin Smith took a plea deal today, below is what he was charged with and how it played out. Charge: tampering with evidence, 3 years ADC. Felon with a gun, not a gun used in the crime. 5 years SIS, suspended imposition of sentence for a felony, which means the court has placed a defendant on probation for 5 years without formally convicting them. If the defendant successfully completes probation, the case is closed and no convictions. However, if they violate the terms of their probation, the court will impose a sentence for the original offense. Michael Lacey. His lawyer asked to discuss a deal for a plea of guilty. This was discussed with me, and the state of Arkansas explained the offer. I agreed to the terms stated, but the lawyers could not come to an agreement. The judge has moved forward, and the case is set to go to trial on August 18th, 2025. Please do not ask me to discuss the deal any further, as I will not. I will tell everyone that the state has made some arrangements with the family to provide us with some information so things will not be so shocking. Shocking will be at trial before the trial date. There is no date set as of yet for this to happen. Please keep Troy and family in your prayers as stated before they have their system.
I can't imagine what they're gonna have to tell the family.
Yeah. And that's all I have of that one, that screenshot. But yeah. And the reason this is kind of like, they did this to Willie Smith is because, like, I think they know that he is such a mess up. Like, this guy has a criminal history as long as my arm, right? They know he's going to mess up and he's going to end up still going to prison for this, I think. And I know that we're going to find out more on August the 18th, 2025 at 9 a.m. because Michael Lacey will be put on trial for the murder of Troy. This is happening. And her family said your prayers are welcomed. You guys, please keep this family in your prayers. And let's keep justice for Troy in our prayers too. I greatly appreciate you guys for being here, by the way. These cases, they actually matter to me, you guys. Troy was the case that just floored me. It floored me. The things that I have come to know in her case, they break my heart to a degree I can't explain until this trial is over. But I know that whenever y'all see it, and the worst part is, it sucks to not be able to tell you guys what's really going on because there would be an outcry of justice for this woman. If y'all think what happened in Devil's Den is bad, that they're charging that man with capital murder and death for, it is going to blow you away when you find out the truths of what happened to Troy. And you're going to ask yourself, why isn't this man being charged with capital murder? So I did an interview with Troy Strope's family. Oh, hold on a second. And Long Crime Network did an interview with Aunt Eve as well. Aunt Eve and Aunt Linda have fought tooth and nail for Troy. Tooth and nail for Troy. They've been spat on by the district attorney, basically. I mean, not, physically, but I hope with what happened in court on August the 6th that I've talked with Aunt Linda about, I hope that things have actually turned around. Hold on a second. I gotta find this real quick. Give me 1 second. Wilby, do you have anything you'd like to add while I'm looking for this?
Yeah, one thing I get out front. I'm down a keyboard, so I'm have an onboard keyboard, which is really difficult to type from. So my comments will be limited to a little bit, but emojis and maybe small comments, but I just sometimes the court system has to lay down with the devil to get the worst devils, and it seems, I guess that's just the case here, that they're giving this guy Lacey, or the guy that they give the plea bargain to. They had to deal with him to get the conviction of the others, and it's just a sad fact, but sometimes that's just the way it goes. And but he'll like you said, he'll revoke his probation, and
Yeah.
he'll get locked up for some period of time.
Yeah, he will. He will. Hey, you guys. Hey, Willette, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Thank you. You guys, I appreciate you all being here so much. Thank you. Willette has a question. He said, how big was the tote? From what I understand from talking to the family, it was a 55-gallon storage tote. Yeah.
It sounds like one of those blue plastic.
No, it was gray. The ones from Walmart, the
Okay.
big, like they got the 30 and the 25, and
Yeah.
they got the huge, like not the super huge, but the 55-gallon ones. If
Yeah.
you go to Walmart and look at a 55-gallon
Yeah,
storage,
they sell.
I was
We
told.
buy chemicals for pressure washing business in bulk out of those, and they get laying around. People give them away everywhere. The businesses that have them, but that's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah.
But gray, we get blue, but yeah, they got them on all colors.
So, where was I? I'm so sorry. I got completely lost. This just breaks my heart. Oh, so Corey Anderson. Corey Anderson was the second man arrested in Troy Alexander Strope's death. And I actually have a court document here to share with you guys on the status of his connection in Troy's death. And it says, in the Circuit Court of St. Francis County, Arkansas, Criminal Division, State of Arkansas versus Corey Anderson, case number 242-210. Plaintiff is the State of Arkansas. Defendant is Corey Anderson. Order for continuance. Now, on the 23rd day of June 2025, comes on for consideration by the court. This cause, the court being sufficiently advised as to matters of law, in fact, arising herein, finds this matter shall be continued from its current, and it doesn't have the date, the current date, but it says setting on the motion of the defendant, and shall be set December the 1st through the 5th, the 1st through the 5th of 2025 in St. Francis County Circuit Court. Time shall be told and charged to the defendant. It is so ordered. Time shall be told and charged to the defendant. So that's saying charge shall be, or basically credit shall be given. I'm thinking. Anyways,
Will that even matter? I mean, it did. But if they get a conviction, I wouldn't think. I mean, the time he'll get, any credit he gets, not going to do him any good.
yeah. I don't know.
I guess
know.
these guys had priors. I'm sure this wasn't their first rodeo.
Oh, will be. All of them have criminal records as long as your arm.
Yeah,
I mean, it's unreal. Michael Lacey's brother is actually in prison in Texas for guess what?
Same thing.
First-degree murder. And mind you, that their mother is a quorum judge in St. Francis County. And she's got two sons. One of them who's convicted, spending a life sentence in Texas for first-degree murder, who was dealing drugs and stuff. Okay. And then you got Micah Lacey, her son, who Troy, that's what I was pulling up. Hold on a second. I have it. Hold on just a moment. Okay. And all you guys, this entire time, they have denied this family answers until right before his trial. They have finally started giving this family some answers, but it's still not all the truth. You know what I mean? So, but this was, hold on a second. This was the Law and Crime Network interview. This is Aunt Eve. Okay.
So it's very frustrating because we know they're hiding something. And the hiding is what makes us dig deeper.
Many questions surround the shocking and horrifying death of a woman out in Arkansas whose body was found in a plastic storage tote just off of a highway. With limited information out there, we sit down with the victim's aunt to hear her side of what she thinks is happening, both behind the scenes and why her niece was savagely killed. Welcome to.
I'm not going to show all of it, but we are going to look into this information a little bit deeper. I have the same press release. I have the same documents. They are on my Discord. If any of my moderators would be so kind as to grab my Discord invite and put it out there, I would so appreciate it. The documents are on my Discord, and you can look at them there. We're just going to go over a little bit really quick of what we've all come to believe of why Troy died. So, okay. Michael Lacey had just gotten out of jail after getting busted. After an informant is what got him busted. So,
Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. I want to talk to you about a case that you might not have heard of, and I'm not surprised because there really hasn't been a ton of reporting on this, and it is very, very disturbing. And I will tell you what, it's a bit confusing too on a few different levels because this concerns the absolutely brutal killing of Troy Alexandra Strope Staggs, age 42, out of Forest City, Arkansas, married mother of 3. Let's go back to February 20th, 2024. And that is when a group of teenagers who were just riding around on four-wheelers that day discovered year-old.
What if you can create your own website?
sorry, I'm fast forwarding it a little bit to Aunt Eve's interview. And I got a commercial. Okay.
Tampering with evidence and possession of a firearm. And to be clear, these are just initial charges. They haven't been convicted. And again, we don't have a ton of information about what led authorities to these 3 men or what evidence authorities may have. I will tell you this, though, regarding Lacey.
Why? Why do we not know any of the evidence? Because the first day I called and talked to the sheriff about this case, they put a gag order on everything. Literally everything. Hey, Sammy, it's good to see you. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. It is so good to see you, Sammy. Yeah, as soon as people started to wanting to know about this case, they put a gag order on everyone.
We got our hands on this report that Lacey allegedly pulled a fire alarm in the St. Francis County Detention Center after he was arrested. And he allegedly told the corporal, "This is what you get for not moving me last night." The detention center was shut down for about 2.
That's how entitled he is. He pulled a fire alarm in the jail to give everybody hell because he didn't get moved when he was supposed to get moved because he wanted better conditions. Ain't that something, Wilby?
Yeah, people in hell want ice water.
Yep.
They don't get it.
2 hours has caused extensive water damage to the cells from the sprinklers. Lacey's been charged with impaired operation of vital public facility, and he was charged as a habitual offender after he's been previously convicted of multiple felonies. Now, Police Chief Ronald Broussard told local media that Troy was a friendly face that he'd seen often. Quote, "Whenever she'd see me, she'd say, 'I'm 1052. 1052 means I'm clear. 1053 means I have a warrant.' She was just a sweet," states, quote. "During the week ending November 5th, 2023, I, Detective Sergeant Preston Gracie."
Okay. So this is where Troy comes into play. During the week ending November the 5th of 2023, I, Detective Sergeant Preston Gracie, remember that name because you're going to hear it in some of the other cases I cover, was contacted by CI 2020-007 in reference to making a controlled buy from Michael Lacey, aka Mike. The informant advised me that Mr. Lacey contacted them and advised that he had methamphetamine for sale and that he wanted to meet at his residence. It should be noted that CI 2020-007 is a trusted informant that has provided trustworthy information in the past with the Forest City Police Department. I met with CI 2020-007 at a predetermined location. The informant was given the predetermined amount of money to make the controlled buy. Due to the crystal clear video, I was able to identify the suspect as Mr. Michael Lacey. Mr. Lacey is seen on the video activating a digital scale. Mr. Lacey then pulls out a large clear bag that contained a clear ice-like substance. Mr. Lacey then takes some of the clear ice-like substance out of the clear bag and places it on the digital scale. Mr. Lacey then takes the clear ice-like substance off of the digital scale and places it in a clear bag. Mr. Lacey then hands the clear ice-like substance to the informant. The informant then exits the residence and immediately turns back to my location. Now, the problem being with that is this is what Michael Lacey was handed in jail. If you're looking at the bottom of the screen right here, Michael Lacey's arrest warrant affidavit. This was what was written on his papers, the identifier number and everything of the person who informed Mr. Preston Gracie of the buy.
He knows right then and there who he was set up, and he knows the person. He don't need a number. He knows the identity.
Right. Okay. So let's listen in now a little bit and get to more of the explanation.
Rams. Hey, by the way, thank you so much for coming to Sidebar to hear us talk about this story. It definitely needs more visibility. And one of the reasons we're able to do that, to present these stories for you each. So let's take a listen. Eve, thank you.
So I had a photo shoot to promote my new.
And we have an ad.
And I'm so sorry for your loss and for what you and the family are going through right now. You sent us a timeline of events, documents, details about the story. Really appreciate it. But where I want to start before we get into all that is I just want to know how you and the family are doing right now.
It's a struggle every day. Yesterday was 6 months that they found the tote, and every day we live it. Every day, every morning, every night. It's just haunting and horrific, and we just cannot move past it without getting some kind of justice.
When I was going through the documents and I was going through your notes, the word that kept coming to my mind was frustration. There felt like a lot of frustration. What would you say is the most frustrating aspect of this whole investigation?
Well, I would say that it's that they sealed all the documents, and we gave them tons of information, tips, and they gave us nothing.
When you say they, by the way, do you mean law enforcement team, prosecutors? Who are you referring to?
Yes, both. Law enforcement, the detectives. Every time I would call, they would say, we can't give any information. It's an ongoing investigation. Even after the arrests were made, they didn't want to give us any information. So it's very frustrating because we know they're hiding something. And the hiding is what makes us dig deeper. And it's what makes us try to figure out what really happened, because it was so horrific. There is no way that I would believe what the head detective told me, which is she was shot at the Buford house by Lacey, and she was disposed of, and it was over money. And I don't believe any thing other than she was shot by him. But there's a whole long timeline in between the time that she was shot and the time that she was put into the tote, and the involvement of the amount of people. It was so horrific. There had to be something going on other than what they are telling us. I don't believe it was over money. I don't believe that he disposed of her. I've heard so many other stories that it's just unbelievable.
To be clear, and I went through the notes, do you believe that Troy was killed because she was working with police as a confidential informant? And why do you believe
Yes, we have come to that conclusion because as we dug through the documents, I'm going to give you a timeline. So the first warrants, 5 warrants, were issued on January 3rd.
Pay attention because this timeline is very, very important in this case.
Then an arrest was made for Lacey on February 2nd. He went in front of the judge on the 5th. He was released on the 6th. And that was a charge of felony. So how he was released, the bond was set at $50,000. Those documents are not available to us, so how he got out.
But those were drug-related crimes?
Correct. So he gets out on the 6th. While he is out, Troy's body ends up found on February 20th. Sheriff May, who is the head of that county, says on national TV that her body was decomposed for about 2 weeks. The timeline is perfect for 2 weeks. So they identified her body. She was found on the 20th. They identified her body on the 26th. On the 29th of February, they went into the Lacey house with the warrant. Now, what they were going in there for or how they would know to go there is unbelievable. But they went in, they arrested him again. They confiscated forensics. To my knowledge, people are saying it was like 6 bags of forensics that got taken out of the home. And we were told after that, all they were doing is waiting on forensics. Meanwhile, he gets released again. And then in May 16th, they go back into the house a 3rd time. And at that point, they arrest him. He's been in jail since. But they took out, to my understanding, all the furniture in the house. Now, meanwhile, we've been giving them tips of all the stories on the streets. And the way we got those stories is we started a Facebook page in honor of Troy and a GoFundMe page to start a reward. And when we did that, people started opening up to us. Now, the page was meant for grieving, sharing her stories, her pictures, all of us to have a place to vent, share items, tell her life. And then it became private messages on Messenger, text messages to us, phone calls to us, and the list just never stopped. It's still going. The list is still going. Even in my timeline, you'll see that it says it's not complete. There's so much conversation that still needs to be put in there that was told to us, and it is very time consuming, but we are determined to get answers.
But just to clarify, what about that? Was it from the information you were getting from, like you said, people on the streets, that she was a
Yes, that she was a confidential informant. Sorry,
They hung her out to dry. He got arrested. He reads the affidavit. He knows he was set up. Obviously, he knows who it was. Then they let him out and gives him time to call his co-conspirators and let them know they got a problem, and they eliminated the problem. And they should have never released that information in the arrest warrant.
They should have. You're exactly 100% correct.
To use a number and think that covers her?
Wilby, you're actually not supposed to. But they put these 5 guys in jail, gave them the informant number, and all of them were like, well, who did I sell to that day?
Yeah, exactly.
At that time. Right.
They didn't. They hung her out to dry.
They fed her to the wolves. Yeah,
exactly.
They did.
It's awful.
Yeah.
What was it about that you think that that's what she was essentially killed over? And what was her job? What do you think she was supposed to be doing? And what was she killed over?
Okay, so Troy had three arrests. Okay. The middle arrest disappeared. That was in 2020. Troy, the CI.
Remember the CI number 2020-007?
Number on all the papers that we pulled. My sister went into Arkansas documents of the courts and pulled all the arrests. All 5 documents of the people involved had the same CI number, 2020-007. So we have come to the conclusion that Troy was that CI for a few reasons. One, she took her child back to her husband right when that was happening and said, she'll be safer here. Troy would never leave her children for something that was, not serious. And she then had to establish herself with these people in the drug scene, and in order to get them arrested. There was 10 buys, 2 for each of the guys, and all the documents are in the information that I gave you, and they're public knowledge. So you can go on there and you can pull it up and you can read. They're all similar, but they all have the same CI. And the reason we feel they failed her is not because she was a CI, because I've been told CIs die all the time, which I find utterly ridiculous, but we feel they failed her because they put that information on the paperwork that they gave these 5 guys, and they're all in the prison or the lockup together. So this is how they figured it out. If you look up other people who are in the lockup, their CI information says this CI will be known as CI. No number, no nothing.
But just did you get clarification from law enforcement? Did they say?
No, they won't. They won't tell us
Did they even
anything.
say you're right that CI means the confidential informant number? They haven't given you any confirmation about this whatsoever.
No, but they haven't denied it either. They haven't refuted it anywhere, and we have put it even on our page. We have put it out there, and it's about to go all over in a letter, and they have not refuted it.
And you believe that is why they're not sharing more information?
Absolutely, I believe that Lacey started the killing. There were a bunch of people involved before she was dead, and the reason they have only charged Lacey and the other two gentlemen, which is Corey Anderson and Willie Smith, they charged them on the back end as abuse of a corpse and tampering with evidence. And the reason they haven't charged them with anything else is because they would have to make Lacey's charge capital 1, which would give him the death penalty, which we were told by the prosecutor will never happen.
Why?
And we believe that it's because his mother is a quorum peace justice of the peace in the county, and his stepfather is a mayor in the county, and therefore the power overrules the justice.
One question about that. If there is this idea of protecting Lacey, was he the target of, in your opinion, was he the target of the investigation that Troy was a part of? Was she supposed to be providing information about Lacey, or was she looking into other individuals? I guess that's the confusion, right? Were law enforcement really using Troy to get information about Lacey, which again would kind of be inconsistent with this idea of they don't want to go after him?
So there were 5 guys that had the same similar charges and that had that same CI. I don't think he was picked out alone.
Okay.
I believe he got caught up in it. And I believe that he was so furious that when he found out, he was making an example of her to say, if this is what you do, this is what's going to happen to you, because they cut her up and put her in a tote and put her on the side of the road for everyone to find. If it was not meant to be, if they didn't want this information to be known that they had done this to her, they could have did anything else with her body.
Mm-hmm. And let me ask you this, and correct me if I'm wrong. Do you also believe that when the court, according to the timeline you laid out, let Lacey out on those drug charges, that Troy was still alive, and that if he hadn't been released, Troy might still be alive today?
I absolutely believe that. And we have a text from her family on January 23rd. Okay. Then she had spoke to one of her family members on the telephone.
Wasn't she beautiful, Wilby?
Yeah, this is hard to listen to, that our law enforcement can be so
blinded,
just stupid.
Yeah,
and not caring. I mean, they sent this girl to her death, period.
Yeah,
and they had to know it. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, let's finish the interview, and then we're gonna move on to Devil's Den.
Weekend of February 2nd, she was still alive. And I do believe he got out just to get her.
And by the way, I could be 100% wrong about this, but I was looking at some of the documents. Am I wrong to say that Michael Lacey right now, we're not exactly sure where he is?
We ended up finding out where he was. He was moved from one jail to the other. So, but
received a notification that he had been moved. When I looked into the St. Francis County lockup, it said he was released. So I sent that information to your director. But since then, we now know that he's in Phillips County, that they transferred him. And it's been said it was for his safety.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm guessing you don't believe that.
Well, they're worried about the murderer, not the victim, or the case at hand about the murderer. I don't know about it.
Let me ask you this.
Hey, Wilby, you know what being the son of a quorum judge in St. Francis County will get you?
A favorable bond hearing, number 1.
Well, yeah, a favorable bond hearing. But you know what else it'll get you, Wilby? It'll get you a police car from the county or the town that your stepdaddy is the mayor in. It'll get one of his police cars to pick you up in the back seat of the car instead of riding with all the other prisoners, allegedly, to the courthouse with your mama all the way from the jail to the courthouse. And whenever you're ready to go in and done talking to your mama, then you'll go in and you'll have your court hearing. Even if you're a convicted murderer that.
And also get you a plea bargain, I guess.
Well, He's going to trial. I mean, he
I mean,
already essentially
he
does
gets
have
in.
a plea bargain, right?
Yeah.
Murder one instead of capital murder after what they did to her. I just and
If
the
they don't
family
get
happened to know
capital, I don't
that.
know what does.
Mm,
It's just hard to understand. There's people out. It probably never will happen, but the powers that be that reached out and got him these favorable conditions, they ought to have to answer. This is not right because they're in a way just as responsible for what happened,
yeah,
in my opinion.
yeah. I think that the public is going to be shocked about what comes out in trial. Some of the things I've been told shocked me. Like, and it just the hardest part is knowing these details as a family member. I could only imagine. You know what I mean? Fighting for justice, and sadly,
Yeah, I feel like you're fighting not only the people that perpetrated the crime, but the
but
actual
the
law
system
enforcement,
that's
the
supposed to
system.
protect, that
Yeah,
failed to
that's
protect, and now really isn't doing what it should for true justice to be
yeah.
served.
If not for them, you wouldn't be where you're at. I mean, they
Right.
were controlled the investigation like it should have been. That girl was in danger. The minute she was sent in to do that, she should have been took off the streets, possibly put in some kind of protective mode until they were sure that she was safe. Because you don't handle CIs like that at all.
At all. You're not supposed to put any identifying markers on there.
Yeah, I mean, they might as well print her name and had a poster on for.
Yeah.
It's 2020 didn't do any. That was useless. Absolutely
Yeah.
useless. They knew
Yep.
exactly who she was, exactly when she bought, exactly when they sold. They knew exactly who they had to eliminate.
Yep. Yep. All right, let's finish the interview real quick.
This, I also, were you and the family trying to get a copy of the autopsy report from Troy? And
Absolutely.
and what's been going on there?
And we were told that we will not get a copy of the autopsy or any information case until every appeal has been exhausted from everyone involved. To me, that says almost never. They don't want us to have any information because we will know our conclusions are correct, and we will know all the information of what they did to her, how it happened, and that there were more people involved than Michael Lacey.
And that's what I wanted to get to too with you, Eve. Do you believe there are more people involved? Do you believe there are going to be more arrests?
So 2 arrests were just made, and we know they were names that were told to us they're involved. But as all the other were charged on something else just to get them in there to question them. If they're actually going to charge them, I don't know. But I know that they know there are more people involved. Originally, we were told more arrests would be made. And then not too far back, the advocate, whose name is Mary Castle, told us that she thought they were all finished. So at that
She is no longer the advocate for the family.
point, it says to me, they should be releasing something to us, but they have not. They will not give us any information.
Have you retained an attorney, or are you looking at retaining an attorney to be a representative in this matter to help be kind of the middle person between you and law enforcement, or you and the prosecution?
Absolutely. We have been searching for one, but as soon as they hear St. Francis County, they either hang up the phone, they don't want any part of it, or they give us an astronomical amount.
That is a fact. That is a fact. Anytime you are trying to get information out of St. Francis County, it is an uphill battle. I can name so many families off the top of my head that have only wanted information involving their loved ones' deaths that have been denied the truth and information in their loved ones' deaths. And regardless of what any court or any prosecutor or any police officer owes us, the media, and the public, they owe those families the truth, in my opinion. What do you think, Wilby?
The fact that they're sealing that through all the appeals will be going on for 40 years. I mean, they'll never stop, literally, the amount of appeals. So you basically put a lifetime seal on that information, which is ridiculous. It's beyond ridiculous.
It is. It is. But I was told by the sheriff that they know everything in Troy's case. They got DNA evidence, this, that, and the other. So, I mean, we're going to see what comes out in court because I'm going to be there August the 18th. I'm going to be there I'm going to be there every day for the trial until I see this through. And from what I'm told, this judge, thank God, is the kind of judge, if you're given the opportunity to make a plea deal and you can't come to a plea agreement that is fair according to your crime, then you're done. He's going to throw the book at you. You're going to get the maximum of everything.
Is he bound to this plea agreement with the prosecutor?
No, they did not reach
So he
one.
could basically say, yeah, this is ridiculous and overrule and give a stronger sentence.
No, he couldn't.
He can't. In other words, he's bound to it. He has to go by it. Sometimes they're bound to it. Sometimes they're not. Like in the Koberger case, the judge technically was not bound to the plea agreement, although he followed it. And most times they do, but there are cases where judges say, no, this is enough. This is a bunch of horse shit. I'm not going along with this. I'm going to impose this sentence. They can do that if they're not bound by it. Just depends. Doesn't happen often, but it does happen occasionally.
Yeah. But he's already denied the plea agreement. Like I don't know that there's going to be an opportunity for him to come back in with, asking for a plea agreement. Word on the street is he wanted murder 2 instead of murder 1.
I guess he did.
Allegedly, and this is just inside information, allegedly, the prosecuting attorney said, "Are you crazy? This family wants you to have the death penalty. Are you crazy for what you did?" Like, I know it's not going to be the justice that is expected ever, because there is no replacing Troy. There's no replacing these loved ones. You can't. There's nothing that is ever going to amount to the life that was taken.
And not on this earth, there's no justice.
But I know this family, and I know that they are level-headed, and they are willing to make that plea deal. He gets life in prison, plus, parole for the rest of his natural life, should he get out of prison. You know what I'm saying? And they're willing to make those kind of deals and plea agreements just to keep the streets safe. And this dude is so arrogant, he comes back with like, "Nah, y'all, I just want murder too." You know what I mean? Like, after what you did to Troy, after y'all cut her up and left her on the side of the road in a plastic storage tote like trash.
Yeah.
Come on.
To me, that's the reason they should have charged him with capital. Then they could have played him down to a first degree and give him life with no parole. That would have been the plea. We might give him that, possibly.
Wilby, he stood up in court and said, "I'm guilty as F you know what." Yeah, I was there.
Wow.
I'm guilty as F you know what.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Allegedly, I can't say it for a fact, but allegedly there's multiple confessions, including him standing up in court saying, "I'm guilty as F you know what."
How old is this guy? I'm
Let's
guessing
see.
50. 50?
No, now he's no. He's in his 40s.
Okay. So he gets let's say what's the life agreement in Arkansas with parole? What could he get? When could he possibly be eligible? 20, 25, 30? I don't know. And maybe less. It's different from state to state. Either way, he's gonna be an old man, but he should never see the light of day. Period.
Okay. So a life sentence means the individual will remain incarcerated for the remainder of their natural life. There's no parole eligibility after a set number of years. Arkansas law does not prohibit sentences that exceed a typical human lifespan.
Okay, so he's not guaranteed
Life
any.
without the possibility of parole.
Yeah. So see, he has nothing to lose other than being upcharged with a capital offense, which could include death penalty. I guess he does. He's willing to roll the dice. What's he got to lose? If he's going to get a life,
Yeah.
either way. Like I say, that would have been all the more reason to charge him right off the bat with a capital and give him with possible death sentence. Then he would have had a good reason to possibly plea down and take the murder one. I don't know. I'm not a prosecutor, but I read enough to know. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just terrible. These are some mean people.
Yeah.
Not enough to kill
Awful.
someone. They want to do what they do to the corpse, and wow.
They want to hurt the family. They want to hurt the family, Will.
And I don't understand why the prosecution is trying to hide all this from the family, other than they may realize, hey, we got a lawsuit coming our way. As soon as this trial's over, the county of St. Francis is going to get a lawsuit.
Possibly, yeah. I could foresee that in the future.
I mean, they failed
with
this
what I
woman.
know, has been how the family's been treated. Like, it would blow your mind how these families are treated in St. Francis County. There are cases where dude has connections to the courthouse, and he got super drunk and wasted and ran over a woman's mother. Never seen a day in jail.
Wow.
There's a case that is not made public, where a young man, y'all know y'all know about Trip Brazil's case. We've had Jennifer on here and stuff. Her son, we're just waiting for the second autopsy results. I'm going to leave it at that. I can't say too much in that case because we're close to getting it reopened, and I don't want to screw anything up. Because like, it's important for the information to get out there, but certain things can't be released for the integrity of the case. So I can't say some stuff, but there's going to be, there's already been the money put up for the second autopsy that that's being worked as we speak. That case is so close to getting reopened. Where was I, Will Be? I completely
I was looking at Sammy's comment. It's talking about this shows corruption. It does. It shows. And there's a lot of moving parts to this. There's the person that gave the bail agreement, the person, law enforcement's play, the DA's play. I mean, it's a lot of different players in this that all have to open a little window for something to happen, for something else to happen. It's just corruption at every level. Yeah. I mean, one person can't make this happen. It takes a whole group of people to work in consortium to make it all go down.
And you know what? Jarek and Donald's case, there's corruption involved there. Like, it just, you can't protect a county whenever the people that you're supposed to be protecting them from is your people, and you're just letting them back out on the streets to hurt more people. It does not work. It will fail every single time.
It almost seems like, from somebody who doesn't live there, Regina, it seems like nobody wants to go up against these people in elections to take over the DA's office, to take over the
actually
position of power, because they don't want to deal with the corruption. They don't want to fight.
Tell you, that brings me to some good news, Wilby. As a matter of fact, I'm glad you said that, because Gil Brazil is actually running for sheriff.
Yeah, he's got the background to do it, though.
Most he sure does.
Do not, and we need a lot more of Gil Brazils. I wish we had 100 of them all across Arkansas.
He was in the firearms and tobacco.
That's right.
He's been a federal agent. He's been a cop, a detective. I mean, he's done it all. You know what I'm saying?
He knows the system from inside out. So I wish, like I said, I wish we had 100 of him.
Not only that, but he's exactly what this county what St. Francis County needs to be protected from internal crime. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like,
to be victimized twice, not only from your what's happened to your loved ones,
but the thin blue line that you served for so many years as well.
The
That's
basic
right.
things we expect: protection from law enforcement, courts, honesty and decency, you know, not hiding things.
Right.
I can't imagine living there and knowing that was what was going on and not being able to count on those things. Because most of us are able to count on good law enforcement, decent courts that do the right things most of the time. No court is perfect, but can you imagine living there and being stuck there because of your economic situation that you can't very well change so easily?
Or
And
get away from it.
it's not the way you're supposed to live in America.
Right. It's not.
Plain and simple. It's not right.
Okay. So did you hear about what happened in Devil's Den with the case?
I haven't. I've followed a little bit. I heard there's been a interest from an out-of-state possible connection they want to look into, and
Yeah, I've actually got it right here if you want to.
yeah, absolutely. I've delved into it a little bit, but not a whole lot.
Okay. So as y'all know, I suspect that Andrew McGann, the Devil's Den double homicide murder suspect, is a serial killer. And apparently, I'm not the only one that possibly thinks that way. And I thought I'd share that with you guys because Vermont State Police said that they're looking into possible connections between a recent double murder in Arkansas and the 2023 murder of Honoree Fleming in Castleton. At this time, however, there is no known link between the cases. Arkansas State Police arrested 28-year-old Andrew James McGann last week, or now it's been, I think, 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks, in connection with the double murder that happened in Devil's Den State Park in July. So it says, police said that a couple, Clint and Christy Brink, were hiking through the park with their young daughters. One was 7, one was 9, and they have a third daughter, but she was not with them at the time, when someone fatally stabbed both parents to death. The children survived and were not hurt. Not Mr. He definitely doesn't deserve a title. When McGann was arrested, police said that he admitted to the murders and that the crime appeared to be random. McGann has no prior criminal record, but police told reporters last week that it's possible he could become a suspect in other crimes. So they're clearly, in my opinion, saying, look, yeah, he could be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I read where they're tracking him. He had their movements in times where he was in other areas of the country, and they're tracking
Yeah,
that with known unsolved crimes that possible connection to. And I would not be surprised at all if they don't eventually connect him to some.
right. Let's see. I think there's a audio. No, that's not it. What just happened with the news feed? Great. I'm gonna have to refresh the page.
I hate that.
Give
I
me
hate
one.
that when you get a news feed and then it goes to the next news feed.
Okay, so let's hear this real quick, okay? Where's the audio? There it goes. Come on, play the audio. Well, this is janky. Come on.
Leads in the
There we
unsolved
go.
case of Honoree Fleming. Fleming was shot and killed in October 2023 while walking on the rail
I'm so
trail
sorry.
near
It
the
is like
university.
bugging. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can. Okay, here we go.
Vermont State Police say they are still tracking down leads in the unsolved case of Honoree Fleming. Fleming was shot and killed in October 2023 while walking on the rail trail near the university campus in Castleton. Police only have a sketch of her potential killer right here, and they've been actively tracking down tips and leads since her death, including reaching out to other police agencies across the country to discuss suspects and cases that have similarities. Most recently, state police say they reached out to police in Arkansas in regards to this man on the right. He's the suspect in a double murder at the Devil's Den State Park. At this time, police in Vermont say they found no link between the suspect and Fleming's death. Anyone with information is asked to call Vermont State Police. That number is up on your screen right now.
Okay. So they suspect he's a serial killer too. Yes. Yes, Sammy. Yes. So other people are suspecting that he's a serial killer. You know the reasons I think he's a serial killer: the sunglasses, the hat, the dressing in black, the premeditation suggested with him
Preparedness.
covering up
He
his life
prepared
and
to do what
stuff.
he did.
Yeah, he prepared. Um, and here's the whole thing. I know that there have been interviews and stuff given by people that are from the FBI and everything else that say, well, the one of them was gunshot and the other was stabbed, right? Right. Well, think about this. Robert Brashers committed his murders with a gun and strangulation. Okay. So there's not, and he was a serial killer. There's not always going to be 100% the modus operandi,
MO.
the mo of death. What the cause of death is going to match up to. They're going to operate in different ways,
Yeah,
especially in my opinion. If Gann was a teacher, right? He
yeah.
had no criminal history. So he's going to be able to buy a firearm. But if he committed a murder with that firearm, right, then he likely ditched that weapon.
That's right. And doesn't want any weapons around him. Possibly.
Right.
So he alters his MO slightly.
Right. Well, he would discard that weapon, right? Had it been a murder weapon, likely. So he's going to need another way to, commit these homicides. And if he really is a serial killer and he was experimenting around with what fit for him, you know what I mean, then he's going to experiment around with different modes of death, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Serial killers constantly alter their methods from episode to episode based on what factors like that.
Until they
Change.
find, and I know this is a sick way of looking at it, but it is what it is. Until they find that what suits them.
Their perfect plan, I guess you could say, or what they think is.
Right. There are rumors. Here's something else for you. There are rumors that this is not the first person that Michael Lacey's ever murdered. It's just the first person he got caught.
I would not. I would be surprised if he had not done that several times at all. Is that a gang that operates or just a loose?
Hold on just a second, Wilby. Okay. Sammy, actually, no, I have that information. And he has never met a single student from the school that he was going to be teaching at. And he wasn't in the same school district that the kids would have been going to. The kids would have been going to Prairie Grove School. And he was going to be teaching, I believe it was Springdale, Arkansas.
But the age and grade kind of match up of what he had been teaching.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Third graders. And he had girls sitting on his lap and showing favoritism, giving them candy, having lunch with them and stuff like that. And parents had actually reported it. And this is news reports that have come out.
Yeah, and it only took 4 days, too, of his employment before he was recognized for that behavior. I believe that's what I read.
Yeah. I mean, it was quick, but he's never met any of the students or anything from the school he was going to be teaching at. And we know that because of reports from the school itself out of Springdale.
Yeah.
Or at least their official statements. I'll leave it there. But yeah, they were just passing this guy down the line. Like he would get in some trouble for his behavior and stuff. And then 5 different schools in 3 years. 5 different schools in 3 years.
That's a lot. That's a pattern of behavior. That's not circumstances that people were interpreting a little, I think he was out of this, not acting right. He did it over and over. He was acting inappropriate.
Yeah. And like there's still no rhyme or reason that we know of that he did this to this family. These poor kids had to watch their parents be murdered.
It's hard to understand sometimes.
Christy and Clinton Brink. And then there was this picture that come out, and as soon as this picture come out, look at this dude's ears. Like I knew it was him. It was him. Look at those ears.
Yeah, they flap out.
What a mug. What a scary
Look at the
thing.
eyes. I mean, there's
What a scary thing to be the last thing you see. That is so sad. That is so, and worried if your kids got away. Like these parents died heroes protecting their kids. So,
I
yeah.
hope and pray the girls are doing okay. But whatever okay might be, it's not good. I'm sure of that, but I just hope they're moving along best they can.
Ah, sorry, I'm looking for the right one. I have so many of them, I can't find it now. Give me just a second. Let me find them. Okay, here they are. There we go. I found them. Now, how do I? Uh-oh. There we go. There we go. I fixed it. Yeah, he does have evil eyes. No, he should not have been around children. Absolutely not. Evil eyes, absolutely. Yeah, dude's a creeper. Total creeper. I mean, I wouldn't want my kids facing that every day for school. Would you, Wilby?
Not at all. I mean, I don't. Like I said this earlier. I don't ever recall having a male teacher growing up. I mean, that's not. It's not wrong or anything like that. I'm not saying that, but I can never recall having a male teacher until maybe middle school. Growing
Yep.
up.
I couldn't imagine. Poor kids. Alrighty. I think we've updated everything, haven't we, Wilby?
Yeah, I think you have. It's just time and time again. It all goes back to the central thing of corruption and the system just not working like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
And
And you know what? Sadly, like Wilby, I'm not gonna lie, it's like an endless amount of cases out of
yeah,
Forest
you're
City,
covering the ones you're
Arkansas.
covering. I just imagine there are hundreds, maybe thousands over the years.
I just I'm not gonna say any names, but I just talked to a police officer this week that found a boy that was hanging, and he was on his knees. He wasn't even hanging, Wilby. And he had just got out of jail in Forest City, Arkansas. They told the family that because it was a self life taking situation, they weren't going to perform an autopsy.
I thought, I mean, it's law in a lot of states in unnatural death that autopsy is done. That's odd to me.
Yeah. Well, they told this family that there's a new law in Arkansas, which I cannot find for the life of me, that if it was self deletion, that there didn't have to be an autopsy.
That just seems crazy.
Yeah.
And that leaves open a loophole for these people that are corrupt to their go as their MO, as you might call it, to when you have a case like this, well, we'll frame it up as a self unaliving. We don't have to do an autopsy. We can use the information we want to use to make it look like it's what happened and move on. Nobody will know the difference. Now, where's this from? This on the screen now?
This is what Aunt Linda made in
Okay.
Troy's case.
It
in the
looks like
church.
something a professional would make. It looks great.
Yeah. They've fought tooth and nail for justice for Troy. This is the uphill battle that they fought this whole time. How do we get justice for Troy if Michael Lacey's family runs St. Francis County? Michael Lacey was charged with the murder of our loved one, Troy Strope. Fact of the case. Michael Lacey's mother, Margaret Lacey Winfrey, is the Justice of Quorum Court, District 3 of St. Francis County. She controls the purse strings. Power of position. Michael Lacey's stepfather, Roy Winfrey, is the mayor of the town of Madison in St. Francis County. Power of position. Michael Lacey is being tried in St. Francis County, where the family holds positions of power, influence, and control. Conflict of interest. Our problem: how is Michael Lacey held accountable in the county where his family holds so much power? How do we get justice knowing he might be given preferential treatment, which now we know he has, when he showed no mercy for Troy?
Is the justice of the quorum, is that an elected position? I know the mayor is.
Yes, it absolutely
It
is.
is.
It's an
I know
elected
that's
position.
not a familiar term for us in North Carolina.
Yeah.
What would be the equivalent? Clerk
Quorum
recorder?
judge.
Okay.
Mm.
Does she have a background in law, or is this one of those things where she can?
No. It's a position like it's. Let me. You
Magistrate.
know what? Hold up. I'm gonna do this properly.
Yeah, I'm just asking because it's not in North Carolina. We don't. There's not a position that they call that, but I'm sure there's an equivalent. You know, that's where states are different. It sounds like it's time for a new sheriff in that whole area.
Okay, so let me explain it to you. When you're talking about Arkansas county government, a quorum court is the legislative body, and a quorum refers to the minimum number of members required to be present for the court to conduct official business.
Yeah.
The size of the quorum varies by counties, but is typically a majority of the court's total membership. It's similar to a city council or state legislature.
Yeah.
And she is a quorum judge. Yeah.
So they have control of the budget, where
Yep.
the money goes.
Yep.
What contracts are given to who? You know, if the county needs
yep.
the right away mode or whatever, somebody's got. People get those contracts. I got friends that got them with the state all over.
Yeah, they're called justices.
They're political.
Right. They're called justices of the peace.
There you go.
JPs. Yeah.
How long do you know? How long?
The county judge presides over the quorum court, but does not have a vote, though they can veto decisions.
Do you know how long they've held those? She's held that position, Regina. I'm just curious.
Oh,
forever and ever.
I had that. No, it's been a few years though. Yes.
You know, it takes a while to build your power up in a position like that and make your contacts.
Yeah.
Within the government or whatever that you work with, because like I say, it doesn't happen. One person doesn't do it. It takes a whole group of people in different places to scratch backs, and once that starts happening,
her position it's basically equivalent to a county commissioner or a county supervisor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Responsible for the county's finances. So how much money is going to be spent on Michael Lacey's trial?
Yeah.
Which at this point, you know that it's just like he's getting preferential treatment because his mom's a quorum judge, because he's going to trial now for the first degree murder when he should be on trial for capital murder. He should be looking at the death penalty for what he did to her. Yeah.
Wow. It seems like Arkansas is in bad need of a governor or somebody from the top down that straighten things out. It's going to take somebody like that that comes in, that has no friends and no agreements. It just turns the system upside down.
So check this out. I asked for the Book of Codes and Regulation, the Book of Procedure and darn it, I'm having a brain patootie.
The bylaws, basically, how you operate.
For the sheriff's department and for the police department of Forest City, Arkansas. You know they don't have one. A federal required.
Well, they got one. It's called "We Make It Up as We Go Along."
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I mean, you know, we tell the public this is the way we do it, and most people honestly don't. If they say it, they think, oh, well, they're in charge. They're doing the right thing. They don't question it. They just take it at face value.
Definitely conflict, 100%, Connie. Anyways, you guys, that's the updates that we have for now. I will be live streaming um on the 18th. I'm putting in a request with Judge Glover. His name is, no joke, the judge's name is Danny Glover. Um I'm putting in a uh, a request for media to be able to give you guys updates and streaming stuff. Yeah, I know, Sammy. They just blow people off. It's the truth. But right now, St. Francis County also has lawsuits for denial of FOIA requests that are mandated by Arkansas state constitutional law now. So, um, you guys, it has been so wonderful. Thank you all for being here. Um, Sammy G, it's good to see you.
Regina, thank you for
Connie,
shedding light where a light has not been shed. Continue to do that. It's a mission I think you've been
Delta
called to do.
Berkey, Wilby, Willette Harris. Thank you guys all so much for being here. I greatly appreciate you guys. If you wouldn't mind hitting that thumbs up and maybe subscribing if you haven't already, that would be wonderful of you. And with that said, you guys, Wilby, you can stay up here with me until I close it out if you want to. Is there anything else you want to add?
I'm good. Like I say, I think it's your calling to shine this light where it's not being shown, and being a voice for these families who have been silenced and re-victimized again after all they've gone through, and that's just wrong. It should not happen.
Yeah. You see so many of these cases just completely go under the radar. And the sad news is these cases, you guys, they don't just affect these families. They affect all of us because we're the ones that got to live on the same streets with these people that are allowing this to continue to happen.
It erodes our confidence in government and these institutions, and that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
At all.
It's not. What they do to the least of us, Sammy G, they'll do to all of us, right?
Yep.
So, all right, Wilby, I appreciate you being here. Everyone, again, thank you so much for being here. It's a blessing to have you guys. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'm not monetized. I'm just trying to help people and tell their stories because their stories really do touch us all in more ways than we could ever know. If we don't get justice for them, who's going to get justice for us?
That's right.
So, with that said, you guys, share a smile and save a life. Remember, kindness is free and hate costs us so much. You never know, the life you save might even just be your own. Thank you for being here. Blessings and good night. We'll see
Good
you
night,
guys
and God
later.
bless you all.
Bye.